Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. That's a reaction, ladies and gentlemen, to crashing out of the FA Cup, to focus on the league, to prioritise top four. That is a reaction. Happy Valentine's Day. How nice of Chelsea to gift Brighton, the team we have a soft spot for, another win. 2 weeks in a row. 5 goals scored against us. A big confidence boost following 2 defeats and a big one, 7-0. Doesn't get any more high-spirited than this. I mean, I have no words to describe that and just how low that result and that game made me feel. And you know what? It's a match review, but I'm not even going to make this a match review because quite frankly, this has gone beyond anything now that's happening on the pitch. Yes, everything that's happening on the pitch at the moment is just soulless. There was literally no desire in that performance. I got flashbacks to the season where Brighton beat us, 4-1 there at the Amex, and we lost 1-0 to them at home. And at that moment in time, things were so toxic at Chelsea. Well, it doesn't feel much different from then now, guys. What is different? Where in this process, 3 years down, are we actually doing something differently, or are things actually happening for us in the long run? A patch we thought, a rough patch over winter. Well, guys, 2 wins in 9 isn't quite a rough patch anymore. The fact that there are barely any games left this season, you have to go away and play Aston Villa next, away from home. Well, what part of any of that gives me any confidence and belief? Me, a delusionally optimistic fan who literally would rather try and find out any little positive every time just to keep myself sane and hope for a better future. Guys, there's none of that in me right now, and literally nothing I saw today and nothing I have seen in the last few weeks makes me actually believe that there is something worthwhile here. And what do I mean by that? We're still 4th. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's not often I'm lost for words, and it's not often that I feel as bad as I do. But guys, that was just terrible. And I'm sorry, I literally said I can't wait for Chelsea to revamp the squad, to bring in players that are excited to play for Chelsea, that understand the ethos of the club. Well, how stupid of me when everything they were explained on their way into the club was nothing of anything we've had in the past. You know, winning trophies, immediately kind of being successful. Yes, I know what the new model is about. It doesn't believe in immediate success. It's about the long-term process, about the long-term project. And this is what every single player was informed about upon arrival to Chelsea. Yeah, well, how delusional of us then, guys. How delusional of us collectively to expect that Chelsea would be competitive once again. And apparently it's too much to expect to be in the top 4 and simultaneously be playing in 2 domestic cups and also in Europe. Too much, guys. Yes, even though with the money spent and the depth, the supposed depth of squad that we have, apparently it's too much to expect. Ahead of schedule, we were told, well, yeah, now we really do know that they weren't joking. It wasn't just a bluff or something to keep us humble, guys. It wasn't. It was literally for real. Ahead of schedule, because we were 2nd at that point in December, almost. Sorry, I'm just laughing now because how stupid of us to believe. And the fact that not even a single person looked remotely interested in turning anything around. You know what, guys? I wasn't even mad when we conceded that first goal. I genuinely actually said to my parents, I was like, wow, that's a really good finish. I mean, you know, the pass, the touch, the shift of it, and the finish. Fair play, Mitoma. Like, absolutely brilliant goal. When am I going to see that? Oh, wait, not even a shot on target today. And then we conceded the second, and I just thought, yeah, there's no coming back from this one. You know, regardless whether you're 1-0 up or 1-0 down, Chelsea don't have it in them these days to turn things around or even look remotely interested in doing it. I mean, guys, the lack of quality on the pitch, just the lack of quality on the pitch. I mean, it was like we met before the game. Hello, you're right, yeah, we got to go on. And then you look at the bench and you look at Madueke coming off injured very early on, and you actually look at the bench, guys, and you're 2-0 down or 3-0 down, and there's not a single player that you can look to on the bench that can come on and be a game changer. Brighton bringing on João Pedro, 3-0 up. Ha! Could have gotten a 4th there as well, but guys, just the disparity as well in the teams right now, which is shocking because we literally raided Brighton's backroom stuff. We were like, let's copy that model, we like that model. And the fact that, you know, 2 weeks in a row, we said, yeah, you know, expose our weaknesses, score 5. Make your goal difference 0, guys. This is literally how bad it is. Brighton are now at a goal difference of 0. How nice of us to help them reach that milestone on Valentine's Day today. Oh, I actually just cannot fathom how poor that was in every sense of the word. And guys, like, the fact that Maresca's not even the hottest topic tonight, even though obviously last year, had this been vice versa, Pochettino to have another result like this, you know, the Poch out hashtag's trending on Twitter. But it's just so much more bigger than the manager, isn't it? It has always been. For those of you who have watched me for a longer time and maybe in the last 2 years, you will know that this has always been my stance. I've always looked further ahead at the manager because at the end of the day, the people that have assembled the squad, that have recruited, that have made the plans and have constructed this model and just given it to the manager to work with, well, what is he meant to work with? He can only do kind of, you know, what's there available. And there we are, bringing on Tyreek George and Keenan Dewsbury Hall to change the game for us. You know what the worst part is? Tyreek George actually looked like he was trying to do something on the pitch. That speaks words, doesn't it? So how we've come into the season being one of the squads with the most depth in the league, joking around about an A team, a B team, and half a C team. And now look at us. Just about an A team that doesn't even look remotely competitive in a Premier League match when we're supposed to be focusing on that. Yeah, and then we're going to go away and play an Aston Villa side, guys. One that actually shopped well and made reinforcements in January with the remainder of the season in mind. Not looking ahead to summer or looking ahead to their 5-6 year project that doesn't exist. No, thinking about the absolute present moment in time. And that is once again the disparity between the clubs and the priority set and the present day success being a priority. You know, the bare minimum of a club, especially the name of Chelsea. And yet we're going to go there and expect to get a result. Well, that's quite funny, isn't it? And now I think what saddens me the most is that I now have the mindset that I did previous seasons. You know, going into every game just expecting disappointment, and anything better than that, well, great. And that is just such a sad attitude to have, such a sad outlook to have. You know, the very fact that I now don't expect Chelsea to turn up in games. When again, that's kind of the bare minimum. Like, where did that exciting team go from that sweet period in October, November? Like, where did that actually go? Why do the players look so uninterested? And, you know, I guess if you're hearing kind of every week, you're reminded that, don't worry, you're actually doing very well. You know, we're still in the top 4. This wasn't even really a priority, actually, this season. So once again, ahead of schedule. Guys, the funniest thing is that this whole time, this is literally what it meant. And we just refuse to believe it because we hold our club to such high standards, as we should, by the way. I don't care if people want to call me entitled or call Chelsea fans entitled. Literally holding our club to its own standards. But guess what, guys? Joke's on us once again because they don't want us to do that anymore, you know? Fans singing, we want our old Chelsea back. Well, guess what? We're not going to have our old Chelsea back because everything they've come in to do is to strip that away and build some supposed new model that will be successful in the long term. And whether that's financial, probably yes. And, you know, if it is competing for trophies and getting back into Champions League football in 2 years' time and maybe winning a domestic cup as well, then yeah, bravo. That's great, isn't it? So yeah, how delusional, guys. So why am I going to continue being a false optimist that the best kind of interest here is to finish top 4, is to get Champions League football, you know, is to be successful? Oh, it's just actually shocking. So yeah, guys, clearly standards should change. They should decrease drastically if we want any sort of form of happiness. I honestly have nothing positive to say to you guys, and I honestly feel like I'd be disrespecting you as a Chelsea fan if you're a Chelsea fan watching this, if I even tried to say something positive here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm simply not going to do that. And you know, guys, like with everything I've seen in the last couple years since the takeover, and you know, I mean, I've gone through the periods where I felt numb, I've gone through the periods where I felt anger, and now it's just like a combination of the two. But more than anything, it's just the fact that I feel so disrespected as a Chelsea fan. The fact that I came into the season expecting something, which I thought, you know, we were all on the same page with, and actually plans were always very, very different. So there you go. Yeah. 3-0. Oh, and just an actual funny moment to end it on. My mum literally looked, she wasn't really watching the game, but she kind of saw the screen and she saw Danny Welbeck and she went, Welbeck? And I said, yes, mother. Bearing in mind, you know, she doesn't really watch football that much anymore, and yet she's all Welbeck. And I was like, yeah, 2 assists tonight for Welbeck. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Yay. But there you go, guys.